L famous on the check and living my life, not thinking about it twice. You heard? Don't be scared to like, subscribe, or share this dope content if you like it. You heard? Let's get it. C74, Adolescents at War. Bronx versus Brooklyn. 718 versus 212. How Frazier and Little N.A. court beef. Let's go. First and foremost, I was not in the building when this beef started. First time I heard of Frazier, I was on the island in 1991, Murder Mall 9, and I was kicking it with this dude. And I was asking him what live dudes from the Bronx was in the building. I asked him, was John in the building? He said, nah, John went up north. I asked him, was L in the building? He said, nah, L went up north. I asked him, was Lil Tech in the building? He said, nah, Tech is not in the building. I asked him, who else was in the building then? So he said, Wacko. I knew Wacko was in the building because Wacko was in the 9 when I first got there. And Wacko went to adults like 5 days after I was there. You know what I'm saying? Wacko got packed up and went to adults. Raw Dog got packed up and went to adults. You understand what I'm saying? That was 2 dudes from the Bronx that official that I knew of. You heard? So the dude I was talking to, he said, Frazier in the building. So I said, Frazier, who's that? He said, nigga from Webster, Frazier, look like Joe Frazier. So boom, fast forward, 2 months later, I'm going to get a package, you heard? I'm coming back from the package room. I see a dude that resembled Joe Frazier walking fast towards me down the hall. Looked like he headed towards the visiting floor, or he could be going to try to catch the package room. But it looked like he really was trying to go to the visiting floor. So as he was coming close to me, I'm like, oh, this nigga look like this nigga Frazier that niggas was telling me about. So boom, he sizing me up. He ain't got no ice grill. He had like a little devilish grin on his face. And he was looking at me like niggas be looking at you and they looking at everything that you got on. They looking at you got shine, everything all in one shot. And he's looking at the little bag that I got coming from the package room. You heard? I'm keeping it real. So it was just a little bag. So, you know, he was keeping it moving like I told you. He was walking fast, and he was looking with a little devilish grin on him. You heard? And he looked at me where he sized everything up in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? Now, boom. I went back to Mar 9, and I said to myself, I said, yeah, that must be the nigga Frazier, you know what I'm saying, from the Bronx that they said representing. So, boom. All right. I was only on the island for another month after that. I went home. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no jailbird nigga. So, boom. Next time I come through in 9-2. You know what I'm saying? I hear about Frazier. They said Frazier went up north or whatever. You heard? So, boom. That was that. Now, boom. I met Frazier back in 9-7 in Napa Nap. You heard? He was one of the first Bronx dudes I connected with when I got to Napa Nap. And he looked at me like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? I could tell. You know what I'm saying? I was building with him. He was building with me. You know what I'm saying? I was letting him know what the streets was looking like because I just left the streets. So I was letting him know what the streets was looking like. And he was enjoying everything that I was kicking it with him with. So that was in 1997. Now, I'm going to take y'all back a little. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take y'all back. I'm going to take y'all straight to the story. Frazier and Little N.A. from Brooklyn. You heard? How did they catch beef? And I'm going to go through the timeline. Now, just because there was a borough war doesn't mean that everybody was beefing. You know what I'm saying? Every Brooklyn dude or every Bronx dude or every Harlem dude or every Queens dude didn't get in no beef. You know what I'm saying? You had some people that was smart enough to sit on the sidelines and watch what was going on and not participate in that dumb shit because they wasn't trying to get blown up. Because just like Fruit said in one of his videos, he can't front. The Bronx dudes cut a lot of major Brooklyn cats. You understand what I'm saying? He can't front. The Bronx dudes cut a lot of major Brooklyn cats. You understand what I'm saying? So now, I reached out, I found out who got cut and why things got started. You understand what I'm saying? Some things got started. Not how the war got started, but how some things got started. Let's get it. Now as we know from the hook-off story, from St. Laz, the beef was an ongoing thing. One, Stan from the Bronx, he cut Modog co-defendant. You heard? Stan from the Bronx, he cut Modog co-defendant. 2, Prince from the Bronx got blown too. You heard? Prince from the Bronx got blown too. You heard? 3, Brave Dave blew S1W. You heard? So if you was on the island back in 90, 91, y'all remember when Brave Dave blew S1W. S1W. You heard? Now, prior to that, Bob from Harlem blew little NA man K.I. You heard? Bob from Harlem blew little NA man K.I. in 3 Lower. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing the count, but I'm just taking y'all through the timeline. You heard? So when Bob from Harlem came back to 3 Lower, because that's what had happened, because you know, a lot of times dudes might blow something in 3 Lower. You know what I'm saying? Then they might go to the box. You heard? Or they go to the Bing. Then they go to the Bing for 90 days. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Then when they come back out, they go to another house, but the houses start refusing them. So they wind up saying, yo, send a nigga back to 3 Lower. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga Bob, for whatever reason, was getting sent back to 3 Lower. You know what I'm saying? After he already blew K.I. in 3 Lower prior to that. You know what I'm saying? Bob from Harlem. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So now, when he come back to 3 Lower, him and Lil Way is beefing. You know what I'm saying? So Lil Wayne thought he was going to send a missile at Bob. You know what I'm saying? Now, before Bob came back to 3 Lower, Bob was in another house. And little N.A. sent a missile at Bob. And the missile was light-skinned Scar. You heard? And Bob blew that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Bob tore that nigga head off. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Light-skinned Scar. Because N.A. tried to send him at him. You know what I'm saying? But this was before he was coming back to 3 Lower. So now you got to look at it. Bob from Harlem blew K.I. So after he blew K.I., little N.A. trying to get him blown, he tried to send this dude named Light Skin Scar at him in another house. But Bob caught a wind of it and blew the nigga Light Skin Scar head off. You know what I'm saying? So boom. Now, for some reason, they got Bob coming back to 3 Lower. And that's where Little N.A. is at. So when Little N.A. seen Bob coming back to 3 Lower, he like, yeah, it's on. I'm going to get the nigga. So when Bob was coming in, you heard, him and Little N.A. was beefing through the C gate. You know what I'm saying? No, through the A and B gate. You know what I'm saying? So later that night, Bob linked up with Frazier because Frazier was in the house. And like everybody know, it was a 2-1-2 verse 718 thing going on. So even though Bob is from Harlem, Frazier's from the Bronx, Frazier's rolling with Bob. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a 212 thing going on. And at this time, the Bronx is 212 and Harlem is 212. You know what I'm saying? And Brooklyn is 718 and Queens is 718. So it was nothing for Bob and Frazier to link up for them, you know, and basically they strapped up. You know what I'm saying? So that night, Frazier and Bob from Harlem strapped up and they rushed the other side. They got the CO they got the CO to open the other side, and they rushed the other side. And when they rushed the other side, Frazier cornered NA and blew him. And Bob chased down Puerto Rican Oscar. You heard? Tried to blow his flame off, but I think Puerto Rican Oscar got away. You heard? And some other cat that got away. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So that's how that went. That was the first encounter with Bob and Little N.A. and Frazier, Puerto Rican Oscar, and some other dude that got away. You heard? Frazier and Bob from Harlem, they blew up Little N.A. and they blew up the dude Puerto Rican Oscar. You heard? They rushed the other side and they blew them niggas' heads off. You heard? So, I don't know if y'all counting, but the war's on. So they packed Frazier and Bob up and they sent them to 2-Upper. You heard? The butcher shop. You heard? Next, Frazier's on a visit.